remember few points. What is in Surah Nisa? Number one, it is Madani Surah. It was revealed in Medina and in the early phase. And there are basics of the ahkam, commands. The basics of commands, they have been in Surah Nisa. The final part of the command is in Surah Ma'idah. So, for example, this surah was revealed from 3rd Hijri till 5th Hijri early part. Remember this time period, time scale. 3rd Hijri after the battle of Uhud, and then early part of the 5th Hijri. So really approximately a year and a half, you could say. The whole 4th Hijri, the last part of the 3rd Hijri, and the early part of the 5th Hijri. This is irrelevant because you remember Battle of Uhud. It was a very nasty battle till the Rasulullah ﷺ was on this earth for us. It was very bad because what happened was in Battle of Badr, 70 leaders of the kuffar, they were killed. So the young people who could not attain Battle of Badr, they were very elated and emotional and sentimental that, wow, I mean only 313 versus 1000, we had nothing in our hand and we sacked and overran them. So what does it take? They always just felt that because we are under the leadership of Rasulullah ﷺ, so we don't need to do much, we just simply need to go there and we will succeed anyway. So they went in Battle of Uhud. That's the way they went. These young people who were not allowed to go in Battle of Badr because they were too young. Now they have come out of age, although a year, little bit more than a year. But they have come of age, so therefore they want to now go out and have a fight. But 70 Muslims, big Sahaba were killed. And it was a big sort of a setback for the Muslims. The situation was so bad that the Muslims used to sleep with their arms, whatever the arms they have got. Their stick, their spear, the sword, the shield, whatever. They used to. And even if Rasulullah ﷺ used to disappear from their eyesight, they used to be very sort of uncomfortable. Where is Rasulullah ﷺ? One is asking the other, and they are trying to look for Rasulullah ﷺ in case Rasulullah ﷺ has been kidnapped or hijacked or something has been done to him. Because there were also enemies within the Medina. You know those three tribes, Banu Nazir and the Banu Qurayza. Banu Qainqa had been taken out after the first time they were exiled. So, in Surah Nisa, it talks about, remember what I mentioned? 70 big Sahaba, they were martyred. They left with the woman, yes or no, their wives? So you have got a problem with Beva, widow. So what happened to them now? What should we do? This is the first time it is happening to the Muslims. They've never faced this situation. 70 people were martyred, their women are now widow, so what to do with them? The first time it is happening. So that is one issue. Second, also they left children, so yatama, so the problem of orphans, what to do with them? How to look after them? These are orphans. What about the economical, social situation and whose responsibility it is? Does it make sense? So about the woman, about the orphan, among the orphan women, orphan girls, who is going to look after? Because remember those days, the girls used to get married earlier, whose responsibility it is? Now the father is gone. So they cannot still practice the days of Jahiliyyah, the days of ignorance before the Islam. So now something new has to come, and it has to continue till the doomsday, till the Qiyamah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had to send all the commands with regard to the widows, the orphans, and the orphan girls. Also, during this period, shortly after the Battle of Uhud, when the Muslims lost, even a small tribe is trying now to attack the Medina. Can you believe it? And 313 Battle of Badr, the Muslims had sort of all the areas surrounding the Medina, they had their effect on. But now that they lost out, so even a small tribe they're trying to now thinking of attacking the Medina and so on. The situation was very bad. We have to try to understand that those situations could evolve again, and there are situations in many Muslim communities and Muslim countries where they are in minority. Also, Zatul Riqa. You remember the Muslims sort of some traitors, they came and they told that we are Muslim and we want you to Rasulullah Sallallahu, they told, we want you to give us some teachers so that we could take in our village or township or tribes and they could teach. And when Rasulullah Sallallahu sent the teachers, they were all killed on the way. So also during the khawf, during the fear, during the panic, how to pray. So you don't need to pray 4 rakah or whatever, 3 rakah or 2 rakah. So to do the qasr, and not only qasr, if Rasulullah Sallallahu is there, then only 1 rakah. Someone will pray behind Rasulullah Sallallahu, he will get out with all the arms and ammunitions, and then the other person will come in behind. So other group of people will come, only 1 rakah, remember. Yes. So Salatul Khawf, which is called. So that is at that time. Salatul Qasr also at that time. The surah came. So Surah Nisa talks about it. The Qasr Salah which you talk, this is surah from, it is in Nisa. And also in Bani Mustaliq, the battle, that is different. This is another one. Bani Mustaliq battle, when Rasulullah went, and they're returning back, no water on the way. So some people, they got in a state of impurity. Some people became napak. They lost their tahara for whatever reason. And there was not much water even to do wudu. So they can't do wudu, they can't do ghusl or the bath to become pure. So what should they do? Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala now revealed the ayah in Surah Nisa. You remember that this is, they could do tayammum. You know, tayammum in Arabic word, we only know that how to do tayammum. But actually what in Arabic word tayammum means to intend. To intend to do something. You are doing niyyah, doing something. That's all tayammum means. And you know, when I think sometimes that why we have to do in the prayer to do Assalamu alaikum, why we have to do that? I mean, we can't question. It has come from there, taught to Rasulullah Sallallahu, through Rasulullah Sallallahu to us. But what is the better way of finishing a prayer? What is a better way of finishing a prayer? Thus they say, peace be unto you and peace be unto you. We say, Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. The best way to do it. Similarly, if we are going to pray, why we have to do wudu? I am absolutely fine. It just simply maybe the wudu is broken because maybe the wind has come out of this, that and the other. A small thing that I have not become really dirty or impure. But still, why I have to do wudu? Because there are certain things to break the wudu. I have to do. I have had a bath only 5 minutes ago. And then again, I passed the wind, for example. My wudu broke, so I have to do again wudu. What is that for? I'm clean. Nothing has become dirty. You have to understand these things and ask yourself a question. And the reason is you are going to a court of supreme being, most magnificent, majestic being. You are going in his court. So therefore you're preparing yourself. You're preparing yourself. If you may have taken a bath, you may have done this, that and the other. No. You are preparing yourself to be in that majestic court. So therefore you start all over again the wudu. But let us start here then. So in Surah Nisa, you remember now, Salatul Khawf, Qasr Salah, and the Tayammum instead of, this we must, wherever, you know, this is not always a job of our Imam Sahib. Each one of us. I tell you, many times I have seen in the hospital, under my care, patients, they are in chronic care unit. That's where my main interaction with the patient is. In the ward, obviously, I go give the run and out. But intensive care, I am there for a while. You'd be surprised why we do not pass on this information. A person, he had a heart attack, bad shape, heart failure, he's better, now he's in bad shape, and I feel sorry for him. He's youngish. I don't see him praying in chronic care unit. I don't see him praying. And now I'm a doctor. I'm in charge. It doesn't look right for me to go and tell her. I'm not a Maulvi. I should go and tell him his father, where the parents had been. Why didn't they teach him that prayer is under no circumstances allowed to go away? You're allowed to be lost. Under no circumstances, except unless someone is unconscious. Then that's a different story. But if someone is sane, has gone aql, he is baligh, full stop. Unless he is unconscious. Even if he is ill, still. Even if he cannot stand up, still pray. Even if he is sitting, yes, still. If he is lying down, still in that position. It doesn't matter what position he is in, unless he is unconscious. Remember that statement. Or has become insane. But this person who is at the risk of dying any moment, and he is not praying, man. He is not praying, he is not reciting Quran. So who is going to tell? So I have to tell him. Because I feel sorry for him. He might die. He's in bad shape. Look, you should pray. Because Dr. Saab, I'm not Pak. I'm not Tahir. I'm not pure. God damn it. Why didn't you tell me from before if that's the reason? So what to do now? He cannot get up. He's got all the machines attached. He cannot go from there. So I had to go out and I had to get him some soil in a sort of a tissue paper, give it to him. That okay, that's it. What about the family members are coming? These are small things. But anyway. So, in here, you have got the full details, Surah Nisa, remember. Also, about the alcohol, drinking alcohol. Now, when we go through, we should know the 9 points that Rasulullah SAW told about, and easy to remember. 9 signs for Firaun, and 9 points Rasulullah SAW told about alcohol. The one who makes the alcohol, who obviously drinks the alcohol, the one who carries the alcohol, the one who carries the machine and this, that and the other, the one who carries the grapes, even the one who stores the grapes, the one who does business, the one who all sorts of things. So 9 you have got, and the one who sells. So 9 you have points about the alcohol. That's everything is haram. Here itminan, bade sahab apna, it's okay. They will face the music. Now, so this is about alcohol as well. Also about the fight among husband and wife. You know, one day I went to the chronic care unit here at Queen's Hospital, and I saw a nurse hanging with the hanging jaw, sad and sorry looking at. So what are you up to? What's wrong? He told, oh, I had a fight with my husband. So I told, well, that's normal. What next? This cannot be the cause of you looking at sad and sorry figure. So that's normal. What next? She looked at my face, shocked and bewildered. So I told her, okay, when I finish the round, see me in my office. And then I made her understand. These are the things that you want to be sort of remembered. You want to be a good ambassador. Otherwise, England, don't do this sort of business. It's none of your business to poke your nose in someone else's business. Keep yourself away. But then that's it. You are then run of the mill. You will not be remembered. But then, what is the definition of normal? I told her, remember, it is normal between husband and wife. The fight or dispute or quarrel or argument is normal. You remember I told her? What next? So in other words, what is the other reason for your being sad and sorry? Because it is normal between husband and wife. Have you seen a man having a fight, someone who is passing by on the road? He is insane then. His poor chap is passing on the road. Why are you fighting with him? The closer you are, the more the chance of you having a dispute, an argument, a quarrel, a question mark. And then, so the definition of normal is 95% plus minus to a standard deviation. Scientifically, the people who are scientists, they would know it. So that is the definition, 95% plus minus to a standard deviation. And it is true, the more closer you are, more chance of a dispute or quarrel, running into troubles. But that should be within limits. If the Sahaba could not get away with it, if Rasulullah sallallahu could not get away with it, who are we? So, and the time and era we are living in, everyone is sort of a big nose, even the wife. Previously, poor wife used to just simply listen to the husband. But now we have got wife. You could imagine the time and era we are living in. And you would be surprised, there was a difference in Meccan woman and Medina woman. Yes? So Medina women, they were very tit for tat. They used to respond very sort of loud voice. But the Meccans, Meccan women used to be subdued. But here, the time and era we are living in. So in other words, again, so it goes in detail, Surah Nisa. Hakam for the man, hakam from the wife, and if they have got the good intention, they could then create reconciliation with the Allah permission and so on. Carries on. Again here one should read, so one could know what to do next. There were people in Medina who were weak Muslims, and they were hypocrites, a lot of them. You could imagine in Battle of Uhud, 300 took away Abdullah bin Ubay on the way to Uhud. 300, 1/3. Good number they were. So there were these people. What they used to do is and in particular after the Battle of Uhud, because Muslims lost, so they used to create a sort of, you could say, psychological warfare. They used to do rumor mongering. Oh, the people are coming from that side, army and this, that and the other. Does it make sense? So again in here. And also the moral training of the Muslims, and to create discipline and organization among the Muslim community. It was only 2 years, isn't it, that Muslims were there in Medina. Before that, they were individually in bad shape in Mecca. But now they have got a state. So now Muslims are told that you have to be now organized, well disciplined. Because remember, discipline and organization is the real core of the Muslim community, which is not now, which we do not have. We used to have. That's the reason Rasulullah sallallahu changed this barbarian society. The people who were barbarians, the people who had blood feuds, the people who were anarchic, the people who did not know the meaning of discipline organization, the people who could not have a leader. They did not have one leader, remember? Can you name me one leader? No. There were few leaders. No one leader. They did not have a king. They did not know anything. But Rustam is standing on one side before the Battle of Qadisiyah. He has never faced Muslims. But there are commanders with him at that time who have faced the Muslims before, and they lost all. So in front of the Euphrates River, the Muslims, this side is the Rustam with his Iranian army. But he was surprised, how come the Iranian army is being defeated with these ragtags, sort of a sunken tummy, sunken cheek, absolutely hungry looking poor people. How come the Iranian sort of a professional army is losing out from them? So he asked, he is standing watching out, Muslim on the other side of the Euphrates River, and he said, now tell me then. He's asking his commanders, tell me how we are losing out from these ragtag people. These poor people, these hungry people. And then they said, how can we win? The other commanders who had lost out before, how can we win? Because they love death more than we love life. This is their statement. They love death more than we love life. In other words, they are just simply to finish. In their eyes or minds, the importance of this life is nothing. Now they are alive, now they are dead, nothing. They think only of the life hereafter. This is one statement. Second is, when the Rustam saw, what's happening? The people started standing up. They were standing up. He realized now they are going to attack. So he told, get ready now. He told, no, they are not going to attack. He told, why? He told, no, they are going to say their prayer. What is that? He told, they say, call it namaz. Namaz? What is namaz? The Rustam had no clue. He told, they will have one leader, Imam, and all the other people in line, in rows, and they will stand behind in line together. But the leader will be in front alone. So Rustam told historical words. He told, I do not know who Umar is, but he has disciplined these Arabian dogs. Remember this? He has made them disciplined. One imam and the rest is behind and they all follow and so on. So I mentioned this so that we understand that where our problem is. Even though we come to masjid, but we are not disciplined. Disciplined in time, organized in life, we are not organized. Either at home or in our life or in our matters, we are not organized people. While we shape the world, we taught how to be disciplined and organized, and lo and behold, now we are learning from someone else. It's bizarre. But anyways, Quran, the Surah Nisa, it creates that collective discipline among the people. Now let us start. So it talks about inheritance as well, yeah? Inheritance, because so many people have become martyred. Now look, first ayah, I'm going to recite and I'm going to ask you who knows about this ayah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Ya ayyuhan nasu ttaqu rabbakum allazi khalaqakum min nafsin wahidah wa khalaqa minha zawjaha wa bassa minhuma rijalan kaseeran wa nisaan wattaqullaha allazi tasaaluna bihi wal arham inna allaha kana alaykum raqiba. Who knows it? Juma? Yeah? Yeah, who said?
Juma. I said Juma.
Huh?
I said almost every Juma.
Every Juma, not an every Juma, no. No. There you are. All of you had with this ayah. Whoever is married has gone through this ayah. Almost. There are some exceptions. But almost, in our part of the world, no question, you won't get away with this. There are only 3 ayah that are recited in nikah. Remember this. Yeah. This. Second is, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu taqullaha haqqa tuqatihi wa la tamutunna illa wa antum muslimun. Third, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu qulan qawlan sadida. Now, did you remember what I said? 3 ayah, yes or no? Including this, that's all. And then after that, an-nikah min sunnati wa man raghiba an sunnati laysa minni, bas all, and that's it. Finished. This is nikah, khutbah nikah. So, here, do you realize 3 ayah I told you only? But ittaqullah is 4 times. There is something to it. Every ayah has got ittaqullah. So in other words, your married life is not going to be in shape or successful unless you have got taqwa. That's the reason. It has not been 3 ayah, has not been in khutbah nikah. Go and see somewhere. When you go there, you got Professor Google, you could see khutbah nikah. And then there you will find 4 ittaqullah. Fear Allah. Be aware of Allah. Be fearful of Allah. Be conscious of Allah. But why on nikah 4 times taqwa? 3 ayah and 4 taqwa. In 1 ayah, 2 times taqwa. The reason is without taqwa, the family life, if you see marriage life is in bad shape, you know that there is no taqwa. So if you want to mend our ways, you want to make it successful, taqwa. And the most important thing is the tongue, apart from many other things, but the tongue. The wife said something and the husband responds, the wife says. And not only that, even the husband. So, in other words, taqwa is needed to keep the married life successful. If we want to have that's the reason Surah Nisa is talking about. وَعَدُّ الْيَتَامَ أَمْوَالَهُمْ, and give the orphans their wealth, their asset, their property, their money. وَلَا تَدَّبُ الْخَبِيثَ بِالطَّيِّبِ, and do not change the bad with the good. You know what it means? That if you have got in your family, auzubillah min zalik, a yatim, so his good things you take and your bad things you give it to him. So you're exchanging good things from the bad things. And it is done. It is well known that orphans, their good things are taken away because they are small kids. They are not wise enough. And therefore you change the property or asset or things like that. Whether in the form of land, in the form of money or property, whatever. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, don't change it. وَلَا تَأْكُلُوا أَمْوَالَهُمْ, do not eat do not eat up, do not devour their property, their money, their yield, their food, their property, their assets. Do not devour because it belongs to yatim and he or she does not have much of a wisdom. They are still small, so do not do it. Innahu kana huban kabira. This is a major sin, remember. But look now. وَإِنْ خِفْتُمْ أَلَّا تُقْسِطُوا فِي الْيَتَامَى. And if you think that you cannot do justice in matters of orphans, فَانْكِحُوا. Then فَانْكِحُوا مَا طَابَ لَكُم مِّنَ النِّسَاءِ. So, from the other woman, then you marry whatever you please with. Masna, 2, Rathalatha, 3, yani 3. Waruba, and 4. فَإِنْ خِفْتُمْ أَلَّا تَعْدِلُوا. And if you think you will not be able to do justice, فَوَاحِدَةً, then only one. أَوْ مَا مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُكُمْ, or your right hand possess. ذَلِكَ أَدْنَىٰ أَلَّا تَعْلُوا. This is nearest or closest to that save you from deviation. Now, let me tell you so that you remember. So it is well known, we marry up to, Muslims marry up to 4. Let me tell you, because it is worth it, you remember. My non-Muslim colleagues in my medical school, they used to make fun of me. They used to say, you Miyaji, they only marry 4 wives. You've got 4 mothers and so many children, this, that and the other. I knew that Muslims marry up to 4 wives. So I told my father, I was very young, although I was medical student, but I went to medical college at age 14, so I was completely precocious child in that sense. I didn't go to school 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I went only just for 4 years and stayed to medical school. So I told my father that, we Muslims marry up to 4 wives, and Hindus, they don't. So marry, and they are accusing me and making fun of me. He told, okay, come to my office in the evening. So I went. This is for you to understand. Most of you will not understand it. You come from a Muslim majority country. I went. I didn't know. He didn't answer me why Muslims do not marry more than one and why Muslims marry more than one. I went to his office in the evening. He asked, Ramchandar, yes sir. And then after that, my father asked, what happened to your 4th wife? I don't know, 4th wife is fine now. She has delivered the baby, she's okay. Okay, fair enough. Yes, sir. Virendra Prasad, yes sir. Virendra Prasad came, and he said, sir, Oscar, then I said, what happened to your 3rd wife? She's okay now, but she is pregnant and therefore she remains still. And then my father turned to me. I told, did you get the answer, son? This is Virendra Prasad, 3rd wife, Ramchandar, 4th wife, and the others. Ye zaleel hai. They marry, they do not claim. Everyone knows, I also know that the Muslim marry more than one. Although most of the time we exploit it. Like every time, every rule is exploited. You know the tax avoidance and tax evasion. One is sort of forbidden and illegal. One is allowed. The same is true for up to 4 wives under given circumstances. Some people, or Nawab, or landlord, or rich people, or many others, they just exploited these laws, but given under very strict circumstances. You must have that confidence and teach that to your children. So, at Imam Abu Hanifa Rahmatullah alayhi time, the Abu Ja'far Mansur, for all practical purpose, he was the first. Actually, his elder brother was the first, but he remained only for 6 months, Safa. But then after, the real first one was Ja'far Mansur, Abbasi Khalifa. So his wife, she used to complain that you have got too many wives, you have got too many women, this, that and the other. He told, look, I've got only 4 wives. So you can't say anything about it, and I am allowed. Yes. Then still she kept on grumbling and moaning, his wife. So I told, you want any sheikh? So I could bring any sheikh to, tell you what is right. So she told that I only would trust on Imam Abu Hanifa. I told, okay, I will ask the sheikh. So he asked Imam Hanifa Rahmatullah alayhi to come and help him in the matters. So Imam Hanifa Rahmatullah alayhi, Ja'far Mansur, Abbasi Khalifa, roaring empire. And behind the chilman, behind the barrier, behind the curtain was the queen sitting, Malka is sitting. And then he asked, Ya Sheikh, are we allowed to have 4 wives? So Imam Hanifa Rahmatullah alayhi said yes. From there he said to his queen, to Malika. Did you hear now what Sheikh is telling? So I'm doing no wrong thing. He is telling up to 4 wives. So Imam Hanifa Rahmatullah Alayhi said, but I have not finished my statement yet. He told, what is that now? So he told that, but the condition is very tough. Condition is you have to maintain justice within these 4 wives. I dare not. I'm very afraid. I cannot do justice more than one. So I have married only one. Who said this? Imam Hanifa Rahmatullah Alayhi. Now his face got shrunk. So therefore, he kept quiet. Now in the night when Imam Hanifa Rahmatullah Alayhi was in the tent, now the Malka and the Queen was so happy listening to this that he has got only one. So therefore she sent the gifts. Imam Hanifa Rahmatullah Alayhi said, I don't sell the fatwa. I only tell the truth. I don't sell the fatwa. So in other words, all these gifts he rejected, and he never taken any gift from anyone. So here 2 or 3 or 4 is mostly under very restricted, limited circumstances. Now if it has been exploited, this is a different matter. But remember the other people also practice it. They do not claim. We claim. That's the difference. And isn't it better to have more than one rather than having 10 mistresses? You are taking responsibility of a woman. She is ill, you have to take to hospital, you have to go to the doctor, you have to look after her, this, that and the other. But rather than having 10 mistresses and that's it, wherever you want you could have the night without taking any responsibility. وَابْتَلُوا الْيَتَامَ حَتَّى زَبَلَغُوا النِّكَاحَ فَإِنْ آنَسْتُم مِّنْهُمْ رُشْدًا فَادْفَعُوا إِلَيْهِمْ أَمْوَالَهُم. When they become big, mature, then return the money to them, to the orphans. And you have to remember that Rasulullah said that one who looks after the yatim, I will be like this, 2 fingers in Jannah. So it's so much of rewards for looking after the yatim girl, in particular getting them married. And you heard about the other things. We will leave it today. It is already late. We will discuss tomorrow rest of Surah Nisa, but it is very important surah, remember, because it gives analysis, and at least you may not remember everything, but you will remember certain things, and those things would be important. In particular with regard to the yatama, about the woman, how to be nice to them, because what we do many things, if my mother would have seen what I do, then my mother will say, this man is a slave of his wife. Do you understand me? Because we lived in a very sort of different world, different time, different society. If I give hoovering or cleaning carpet, my mother would have said, oh God, what happened to my son? But because obviously, but you know, you will be surprised. Quran and Rasulullah is completely different. Isn't it true? I ask you a question. Rasulullah, isn't it true he used to fetch water from outside, carry himself? Yes or no? Yes. Isn't it true Rasulullah he used to make the repair work and the patch work in his clothes himself? Yes or no? Yes. Isn't it true that the sandal which he used to wear, he used to look after and repair work himself? Yes or no? Yes. So why on earth I can't do it? If Rasulullah used to do it, why these religious scholar and Maulana and this, that and the other, why they don't do the same thing? Why I have to learn in England? Why they don't do? Why before we came to this place, why our religious leadership does not do or practice those things which Rasulullah practiced? Doesn't make sense. So we have got a very disproportionate sense. Rasulullah said, the best among you is the one who is best for the woman. Rasulullah did not feel shy in telling that there are 3 things which produce coolness to my eyes. One is my prayer. Does it do coolness? Yes or no? And the second is also woman. But we somehow either we don't want to touch this topic, and we have not done justice. it's true that the woman has been persecuted and oppressed in the Muslim society. Despite the fact that we have got beautiful injunctions for them, despite the fact that this is the only religion which make them free, which gave them the power to witness, the power to do business, the power to vote. The Muslims were really emancipation of the woman. It only came from the Muslims, no one else, till recently. They have got the right to inherit, right to vote, right to own the property. When? Go and find it out. When did they have? Only recently. For a nation, 50, 100 years is recent. But the Muslim right to vote, right to inherit property, right to do your own business, oh my God. That time, so women emancipation took place. But we don't have confidence. If we don't have confidence, how on earth we are going to teach our children that confidence? When the question of more than one wife comes, we shut up ourselves in a shell. Oh, I don't know. Go and talk to Moli Sahib. Why? Why can't we tell these things to our children?